Three sisters, a scenic campground, and a father who served his country, now the main suspect in their deaths. This is the story of Travis Decker, a man who went from war hero to America's most wanted. On June 2nd, 2025, the bodies of three young girls were found at Rock Island Campground in Washington state. Their names were Paityn, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker. What happened to them? And where is their father now? This case has sparked national outrage and deep mourning, with widespread media coverage from outlets like WFLA Orlando, iHeartRadio, and investigationdiscovery.com. You're watching Evidence in the Dark, where cold cases, unanswered questions, and forensic mysteries are brought back into focus. Stay with us as we unpack the psychological breakdown, the forensic trail, and the nationwide manhunt for a father who may have murdered his own daughters. On a quiet Sunday morning, park rangers at Rock Island Campground were alerted by nearby hikers who noticed an abandoned vehicle and signs of disturbance in the woods. According to WFLA Orlando, deputies from Douglas County Sheriff's Office responded quickly, and what they found would haunt the investigators. The bodies of 9-year-old Paityn, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 5-year-old Olivia were discovered, wrapped in camping blankets just off a dirt trail. There were no defensive wounds, no bloodstains, no obvious signs of trauma. But there was something missing from the scene. Their father, Travis Decker, and any trace of what led to this unimaginable crime. Travis Decker was a former Army sergeant. He had served multiple tours in Afghanistan, earning a Bronze Star for service under fire. But like many veterans, the battlefield wasn't the only war he fought. According to reports from investigationdiscovery.com, Decker had been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder but failed to attend most of his follow-up therapy sessions. Neighbors described him as polite but withdrawn. He had recently separated from his wife, lost custody rights, and was allegedly experiencing financial strain. Friends said he doted on his daughters, taking them hiking, reading to them, teaching them to fish, which makes this case even more perplexing. How could a loving father become the prime suspect in the murder of his own children? Criminologists are calling this a textbook case of familicide, where a parent, often male, kills his own children, usually tied to custody loss, depression, or a need to rescue them from a perceived failure in life. But what stands out in this case is how controlled the crime scene was. No sign of rage, no violence. The girls appeared to be laid down, covered, as if they were being tucked in for sleep. Was this a planned goodbye? A moment of delusion? Forensic psychologist Dr. Lily Harson, interviewed by Crime Feed, said, "This behavior suggests cognitive disassociation. He may have believed he was protecting them from a future he couldn't face. And yet, he ran." Which leaves one question. If he believed what he did was merciful, why is he hiding? The next 24 hours were a blur of helicopters, search dogs, and tactical teams. Washington State Police launched a full-scale manhunt, covering a 50-mile radius of the Columbia River. The SUV was registered to Decker, and inside they found a journal, survival gear, and a photo of his daughters tucked into a copy of The Art of War. Then came the forensic confirmation. On July 2nd, iHeart Crime Watch confirmed that Decker's DNA was found on fibers and tree bark near the bodies. His fingerprint was also lifted from a discarded flashlight at the campsite. Despite this, no confirmed sightings of Travis Decker have been reported since the night of the crime. Police now believe he may be hiding in deep wilderness, possibly surviving off-grid, using military survival skills learned during his deployment. As the manhunt continues, the public grief has been overwhelming. Schools across Spokane and Wenatchee have held moments of silence. Memorials of teddy bears, notes, and candles now line the trail near Rock Island. Thousands have taken to social media using the hashtag #JusticeForTheDeckers, demanding accountability and mental health reform for veterans. But for many, the case feels unfinished, almost unreal. Travis Decker, a man trained to fight and survive, is still out there. This case is not just about murder. It's about the silent collapse of a human being. A father, a soldier, a man now accused of the unthinkable. If you have any information on Travis Decker's whereabouts, contact Washington State Police immediately. Links to official tip lines and sources are in the description. You can follow the case at WFLA Orlando, full coverage, investigation discovery, crime news. If you're drawn to stories the world wants to forget, stories buried in silence and shadow, subscribe to Evidence in the Dark, because even the coldest cases leave behind a trace.